Both are classical music, both have the same names of rags and tal, and so the basic principles are all same. But yet, the sound of it, the approach of it is so different. I sing both the repertoires. Sometimes, a tarana with a tilana, sometimes with a kriti. Sometimes when I sing ragas which has a parallel, like an abhogi or a hamsadvani or a kalavati, I try in some way or the other, I try to also see the rag from the Carnatic perspective within my Hindustani framework. The concept of murchana is not very regularly used in Hindustani music performances. And it's a very regular thing for Graha Bhedam is a very regular thing for Carnatic performances.
During my research, I also understood that you've learned Hindustani classical music and Carnatic classical music, and that's something that not many do. Can you take us through what the essence is of both the schools and how are they different? And when should one decide to learn both? Is that needed or not?
Is it recommended that one should learn both? Not in the beginning. Not at all. Not at all. So, in one of these schools of thought, one should learn for a very long time, so that one finds himself or herself very settled and at ease with that. Because it's like defining what your home is and then going to your friend's place. So if you go to your friend's place too frequently, then the definition of what is home and where you go sometime, that definition and that balance gets a little messed up. So I went to learn Carnatic music after my bachelor's. So between my bachelor's and master's, I took 1 year gap because I wanted to go to Chennai, spend as much time as possible with Dr. M. Balamurali Krishnaji, my Guruji, so that I not only pick up compositions, but I understand the thought process, I understand the ethos of it. Because I was firstly fascinated with the idea that this small country of ours, the two parts of the country has two different varieties of music which are so similar yet so different. And it's not a huge country. It's a very small geographically it's a very small piece of land. But then how is music so diverse? And both are classical music, both have the same names of rags and tal, and so the basic principles are all same. But yet, the sound of it, the approach of it is so different. So I just wanted to understand what are the similarities, what is different, how is it the same thing, how is it not the same thing, how is principally the ideas and the progressions of it are same, but how it sounds to me is totally different. I know what they're doing, but I can't do it that way. I know they're doing an alapana or something like that. I know there's a composition, I know there's a rag, I know there's a time cycle, tal. I know it has to come in a certain way, come back to a point. But it's so different. So though from outside I kind of get a vague idea about the construct, but I can't touch it. It's like that. It was such a mysterious thing. This is my childhood, and Baba was doing a lot of duet concerts with Shesh Gopalanji, with many other musicians. And that was my primary introduction. Like everything in life, musically, my primary introduction was always through Baba. Because he was trying out different things and I was a part of it. And I always used to extensively travel with him. And that gave me an overview of a lot of things. So I saw them sit and discuss the pieces, curate the show, and draw parallels between Tarana and a Tillana, a Kriti and a Bandesh, a Kirtana and a Bhajan. So those were introductions कि हाँ relation है, लेकिन कैसे है, कितना है. So that is why I wanted to spend time and learn and really understand, not just कि हाँ देखा है वो, ऐसा नहीं. So
but is there like a element that learning Karnataka added to your singing?
I think. But it's not something that you can take out from my performance and put a finger and say, yes, this. But I think rhythmically, a lot of things I have, it has automatically come in my expression. And also permutation, combination wise, some varieties of dynamics, some varieties of approaching a note
Yeah.
That also has happened. And of course, repertoire was, you sing, I sing both the repertoires. Sometimes, a tarana with a tilana, sometimes with a kriti. Sometimes when I sing ragas which has a parallel, like an abhogi or a hamsadvani or a kalavati, I try in some way or the other, I try to also see the rag from the Carnatic perspective within my Hindustani framework. So that is a very refreshing change for the audience. Maybe they might not be able to point it out कि हाँ ये part Carnatic था, but it also if this is the rag and you're looking at it from this side, you also get a chance to look at it from a different side. That the concept of murchana is not very regularly used in Hindustani music performances. So I think that's one thing that, and it's a very regular thing for Graha Bhedam is a very regular thing for Carnatic performances. So I think that's one thing that I've tried to explore into. Though we have some of the examples of Bade Khan Saab's presentation where he sang in a Bhopali presentation, he would bring all the other pentatonic rags by changing the notes, the sharaj. But that was kind of it, not extensively doing that always. But in a Carnatic performance, that's a very regular thing, and it's a very beautiful element. So these things are things that must have had, an impact.
For sure.